Hi, it's Kel here from Your Travel Planners. I am here today to talk to you about a passion of mine, which is family holidays and adventures. I'm going to run you through a short slideshow and hopefully answer some questions you may have about what I'm talking about. What is a family adventure, a family holiday? Something a little bit different, something off the beaten track that I absolutely love doing. So let's get started. First of all, what is a family adventure? A family adventure is being able to experience something really, really different. A lot of you out there may have already taken the kids on a family holiday. Maybe it might be to Busselton, to a caravan park. It might be to Bali, to a resort, or Phuket, or maybe the Gold Coast or something like that. But what I'm about to show you is something completely different. It's a tour, maybe in a country that you wouldn't even think of, let's say Vietnam or Cambodia, and you're taken care of the whole way, which is fantastic. The tours that these companies that do the family adventures put together are designed with you and your children in mind. The children will be kept interested along the way. You know, there's things like kite flying and cooking classes and things like that to keep them interested. So for you guys out there, it's a brain dead holiday. You don't have to think about anything. All your enjoyment levels are up and stress levels are definitely down, that's for sure. So I'm just going to run you through a few photos here of photos that have been taken by families that have been on these trips to different places. The fantastic thing is, as mentioned in the previous slide, typically you're going to be with about 2 or 3 other families. So the kids are going to be able to make friends, but there's still going to be a small group involved. So you're not going to be on a coach load of 50 odd people. There's just going to be maybe maximum of 15 people. The other great thing is, you know, if you don't manage to go on a group tour, you can actually privatise something, which is fantastic. I've done this so many times before, where dates and things don't fit, and we can put it together for your own personal dates. Just some more photos here. So why travel on a small group? A small group tour to me, I do them all the time on my own holidays. Obviously, I don't have any children, but I travel by myself or with my partner or with my dad, and it's a great opportunity to travel with a small group. It's to meet other people. I still keep in contact with the people that I've met when I've been away. You travel with other families, you meet new friends. It's really rewarding for the kids. They get to experience something completely different, normally to what they wouldn't experience on a normal maybe resort holiday or something like that. I'll just keep going here as well with some more photos. The great thing is too, these tour companies, you don't crowd local communities, so you're staying sort of more off the beaten track and that type of thing, which is fantastic as well. You may be seeing things and experiencing things that you maybe wouldn't even do on your normal holiday as well, which is great. It's a really safe way to travel and it's really fun. So why a tour, you say? Tours, I think, are the best way to go. People always say to me that, oh, I don't want to do a tour because I want my freedom and my flexibility, which is fantastic, that's fine. You still get a lot of flexibility on these trips, you still get a lot of free time. But the great thing about doing these for a family adventure is it takes the stress away from you. You get local leaders when you go, so you can actually have all that insight into the culture, the wildlife, the history, because the leaders that you've got travelling with you are basically from that country. They can tell you about the customs, religion, all of that kind of thing, help you out with the local currency, with the language barriers, menus like it says there as well, which is quite good because sometimes in these countries you might not know what you're ordering. It's about looking after you and your children. You know, it's not just a holiday for the kids, but it's a holiday for you guys too. It's stress free. You don't have to worry about where you're going, what you're doing, where you're staying. You guys actually get to enjoy it and have a fantastic time as well. Just a little word of warning, please note, tour leaders are not babysitters. Sorry. Parents and grandparents are responsible definitely for looking after their own children. So it's not as if you can just jump on the tour and the tour leaders will basically look after you the whole way. You still have to look after your kids. This is a great shot. This is a family that are in Kenya, in the Maasai village. Such a great way to see destinations, like I said, that you probably wouldn't even get to see previously. So You ask, how will the trip be family friendly? Well, there's heaps of activities for both the parents and the kids. I'll keep going here just to show you a couple of photos, but this little boy is doing the kite flying in Beijing on one of the family journeys. The travel time on these tours is broken up, so you have like quite a few stops and interesting stops. Another great one in China is you get to go to a kung fu demonstration, which no doubt would be great out there. You get to settle into hotels really early and keep disruption minimal. There's no nighttime travel. You're still travelling, during the day and doing heaps along the way, but no nighttime travel, which is great. So are the trips just for families? These trips that I'm talking about specifically now, yes, they are. There are certain departures that are purely just for the family. There is a minimum age of 6. And like I mentioned previously, if for some reason they don't fit into the dates that you're looking for, if you're specifically needing to go school holidays and there might not be a trip during the school holidays, or the trip that's out there might be full, we can actually tailor make your own group, which is brilliant. I've actually just done it for a family. They're heading off to Cambodia in about 4 weeks' time, which is fantastic. So what's the accommodation like? What to expect. Not everywhere have family rooms, just a little word of warning, but where possible you will be accommodated. Normally you have 2 separate rooms, either side by side or interconnecting. The reason these companies don't normally recommend having 3 people in a room is because the rooms in some of these countries are very, very small in comparison to Australian hotels. So for more than 3 people in a room, it gets very cramped. So, and safety too, a lot of the hotels won't allow more than 4 people in a room purely because of fire hazards and things like that. So where they will accommodate you though, and definitely have you interconnecting or side by side. They're not going to have the kids at one end of the hotel and you guys at the other, so you don't have to worry about that. Another question I get asked all the time is, what will the food be like? Obviously meals are different from home. That's going to be standard, but it's an opportunity for the family to try something different and immerse yourself in the local cuisine. Usually there's no such thing as kids meals. Depending on restaurants and things you go to, they may have something a little bit more child friendly, but don't stress. Most of the countries these days do have your McDonald's if you really need it. So, but meal times are also a highlight, so I think they're fantastic. And like I said previously, your guide is there, and this is the great thing, to help you order things that are going to be suited to your diet and what the kids like. So how hard is it going to be to travel? In one word, I would have to say easy. It is completely easy. Activities are not strenuous, and accommodation is comfortable. It's neat, it's clean, it's comfortable. It's not a Hyatt by all means, but you're out there to see the country and see something completely different. The best part is, like mentioned previously a couple of times, it's a brain dead holiday for the parents. You don't have to worry about anything. You're taken care of from start to finish. You can have a holiday too. Just about the activities, about strenuous and accommodation and things like that. A couple of exceptions are obviously trekking in Nepal. If you're thinking of taking the kids for a trek through the mountains, obviously that's going to be a little bit more strenuous than maybe a trip through Vietnam. So will you need vaccinations? Vaccinations, it's a hard question. Each area of the world is different and they all have different health issues. We do know as travel planners that there are some countries out there that have injections that are compulsory. For example, if you're heading to Kenya, you have to have your yellow fever certificate. But other than that, it's really a matter of consulting your GP and asking them what you do and don't require. So what time of year do you go on these family journeys? Family holidays have been specifically designed to coincide with the school holidays, so there's a lot of departures out there that will be in the school holiday period, which is fantastic. Also, they have been factored in for weather conditions, but like I said previously, at the end of the day, you go when it suits you, because if there's not a departure on one of these family adventures that's going to suit you, we can easily privatise something for you as well, which is fantastic. There's so many destinations that you can go to. Here's just a few coming up. Um, they're really, really different destinations out there. Like I said, it's not your Bali resort holiday, it's not your Phuket resort holiday. You're going out there, you're seeing something different, and you're doing a bit of travel when you get to these countries. I'm just going to run you through a few itineraries that they have for these family tours. These are a few of my favourites. Having done China a couple of times before, Dad and I were lucky enough to actually have been to all of these destinations listed on this itinerary here. It's so brilliant. You get to see so many different things in China, and the food is fantastic. You've got the Great Wall, you've got the home of Kung Fu in a little place called Shaolin, and you've also got the pandas in Chengdu. So great, great itinerary. Highly recommend it. Here's a couple of photos from China. I think the Great Wall's fantastic too because it always reflects home to the good old Big Pondad. you know, why did they build the Great Wall of China? To keep the rabbits out. I'm sure the kids will bring that up when they're over there. Another fantastic experience would be Vietnam. There's a lot of history in Vietnam, obviously with the war, but there's so many beautiful places there. You can go kayaking on Halong Bay, you've got elephant rides, and a favourite for the kids out there would definitely be the Cu Chi tunnels. The Cu Chi tunnels are the tunnels that were built during the Vietnam War through the Viet Cong, and the kids get to actually go down in them, and if you're keen, you can go down yourself, and you can pop your head up out of holes in the ground. Good fun. Thailand, they definitely do trips in Thailand, so you could maybe even combine this with having an extra couple of days in Phuket on the way home to relax. Something completely different. What about Egypt? Egypt, there is so much over there, and they always say if you ever go to Egypt, go back about 5 years later because there would be so much more that has been uncovered since you went the first time. I went quite a few years ago, and I can't wait to go back. Great photos. Just a couple more. There's Borneo with the orangutans, which is fantastic. You've got Africa, so you could immerse yourself in the Maasai culture over there and see heaps of wildlife. Have to say, I did not succeed in starting a fire when I tried this. So there you have it, just a few photos to finish off there. It's something completely different, like I said, you're immersing yourself in a tour that's going to give you the best of, touring around countries. So if you want something different, then think of a family trip. Think of maybe a family tour through Vietnam or Borneo or Cambodia or something like that. Hopefully I've answered some questions out there that you might be thinking about in regards to what the accommodation and touring is like. But if you do have any questions, please either submit your question or click on the link below. So hopefully we will see you soon for a family holiday. So until then, have a great day.